Hello everyone and welcome to finally the last race of the season, the Japanese Grand Prix. Welcome. Really welcome. I'm Findix. I'm commentating for you. I have the privilege of commentating what is the finale of one of the best seasons sim racing has ever seen in so many ways. And we'll get to the reasons why it is such a good season for sim racing. But if you've been watching, I've done the whole season, of course, here on Twitch. You can watch it on YouTube as well. You will know why it has been such an excellent season. First, quickly, one last look at the calendar. Nothing is really relevant as much. You can see we've done 8 races. That's the countries we visited. And finally, we are in Asia, in Japan, for the final race. No better venue for a season finale than Suzuka. 35 laps we'll be doing of this track, slightly longer than we're used to on this very special day. And there's a couple of reasons why it's so special. First, something you might not know or expect, it's actually 5 years that 76 racing has existed. They organized their very first race 5 years ago to the date. And started, of course, in COVID. Sim racing became really, really big in COVID. People were at home, nothing to do. So they started to pick up sim racing as a hobby. And it has stuck for a large number of people. It is something I very much enjoy as well. Hence why I stuck around. And why these people did as well. Now, to the reason why today is so special. Next to that 5 years anniversary, which of course, it only happens once, so really cool that is. Let's have a look at the driver standings, and you will immediately see that the top 4 is separated by only, 8 points? 8 points. 8 points is the gap between first and third, minus 2, right? So they're extremely close together. All 4 of these people. And moreover, it's actually the top 3. If you ignore the fastest lap point, there's a nuance. The top 3 can beat each other just by winning. The top 3 can just has the championship in their own hand. Marcus and Domska just need to win. That's all they need to do. If they win, they become champion of this 7th season. For Marcus, it would be the first time. For Domska, it would be the second time. He also did it in Season 5, 2 seasons ago. For Dikra, winning is only enough if he also gets the fastest lap. If he doesn't get the fastest lap, but wins, then Marcus cannot be second. If Marcus is second, then Marcus is still champion by a single point. For Randers, it is a little bit more complicated. If Randers wins and Marcus is second, then Marcus is still champion. If Randers wins and Domska is second, Domska is champion if he also has the fastest lap point. Otherwise, Randers will be champion. That is all you need to remember. It is maybe quite a bit. But it's honestly, given that there's 4 people in the championship, this is fairly simple, relatively simple. We've had weirder championships finish in weirder ways. I can think of one that Vettel won. I can think of one that Hamilton won. So that is how things stand. That is how things will have to play out. And let me introduce you to the main characters. I would love to start with whoever's in first place, but we'll go back to fourth, I guess. This is Randers. A German drivers. All of these drivers are German. The top 4. The entire top 4 is German. Randers has been a bit of a surprise this season. Starting the season We had a couple of names in our minds, specifically two. We'll get to them. But Randers was not one of them. Randers has surprised before. It was actually the start of last season where he took the lead of the championship. And it was actually in this season where he had the lead of the championship for a while and looked really strong to win this season. And currently, he's a bit on the back foot. His last race in Portugal did not go the way it should have gone for him. Lost a couple, too many positions as a result, on the back foot, and need a little bit of luck to become champion today. That is what Randers is looking at. Have a look at our third place driver, Dikra. Currently in third place, reigning champion, let me remind you. That's why on the front of his car you can see the number 1 in the Ferrari. Used to be teammates with Domska. This is the first season he does it without him. And he still looked just as strong. In fact, at the start of the season, he looked completely unbeatable. Won the first race, won the second race, and was set to win the third race as well, until there was an incident involving Domska that saw him drop back to third, and after that, he didn't show up for Spa. That is a little bit of an asterisk on the season, I'm not going to lie. If Dikra has a decent race today, and he doesn't win the championship, people will still be looking at the championship as, you know, Dikra kind of had it. But officially, whoever has the highest score will get it. Right? So that is how we're going to look at it. Dikra, extremely strong driver. At the start of the season, people already mentioning him. He would be the favourite going into it. He very much showed his favourite status at the start of the season, as I said. And later on in the season, he started to fumble a little bit. Not just because of not showing up at Spa, but other races, he just wasn't on the pace. Canada, very notably, just wasn't there. Recent races, he's found his form back a little bit, very much in the fight still, and today he has a chance to complete his hunt for a championship that is honestly a little bit more difficult for him than it really should have been. That is Dikra. Next we go to Domska. Very much one of the most well-rounded drivers on this grid. Has been struggling quite a bit this season. He, of course, is a former champion. 5th season was his after a last race, where it did come down to that last race. But he won it very much in style. Was very rapid that day. So, former champion, very well deserved. He's always known as a fast driver. He was one of 2 names that really rose up as being a favourite for the championship. And yeah, today he has every chance. Last race, of course, was the first race he won this season. And, well, you are as good as your last race. If you won last race, you do have a very good starting position to win this race. As a result, Domska is very likely to win the championship today. Absolutely very likely. And all he has to do is win. Very privileged position that he fought for. Not by being great throughout all of the season, but because of being good enough for all of the season. Just good enough. He was always kind of up there. He had a lot of missed opportunities. But yeah, last race, winning that race, really put him back into a proper fight. Ooh, and assuming he can keep it on track, it's very much a favourite to win it. But the current leader of the championship, I haven't talked about yet. He's also leading this practice session. It is Marcus. Marcus currently in the lead of the championship, but the gap is small and he knows it. That lead of the championship means nothing if you cannot win today. There are scenarios where I mentioned he can finish second and it means something. But truthfully, he will want to win this race and yeah, not have to deal with any maths by the end of this. Marcus, at the start of the season, I said several times it was a matter of time before he won his first race in SSR in the Grand Prix Classics Championship. And he had done that by the third race, So that third race is where he got crashed out from the lead, and he felt to himself, this is not really how I want to win. I want to, win by my own pace and not because of a little bit of luck. Well, good news for him, the very next race he did it again, and that time it was completely him. And he has really shown his worth this season. Very much a rise of Marcus this season. He has put that first win behind him. That stress is gone. He can just do his pace. And if the practice pace is anything to go by, he's got a very good chance of winning today. And what a venue to try and do it on as well. Let's talk about Suzuka a little bit. Suzuka is very much a driver circuit. You will hear it a lot in Real F1 as well. They will keep mentioning it. But it's true. It is a place where in Real F1 cars can very much make a difference. If they got very good grip, you do have an advantage as Suzuka. Straight line speed can also help you, but not as much. But the reason that this is so much of a driver circuit is that the driver really does make a big difference. More than on other circuits. It's about how daring do you want to be in these corners, the deadness. Being late on the brakes on the next hairpin can gain you quite a bit. But the real kicker, of course, is the first section, the S's. Dustin just passed that as I'm watching him. But we'll have a very good look at that in qualifying, where we'll follow one car. Drivers can make a big difference there. It is quite possible that one driver is just better than the others. That is possible. It would be a little bit of a shame if one person just drives away with it, unless it's randos. Then we can have very excited math for second, third, and fourth, right? Very exciting math. And of course, you have to think about strategy. The cars do have to refuel. They have different tire compounds. If one driver absolutely blasts away at the start, you can assume they're on low fuel, softer tires, and probably have to stop one more time than one more time compared to other people. In that case, we have a strategical battle. Now, what strategy should we expect today? Truthfully, I don't know. If I had to guess, I think everybody will be running a hard today, at least, because this track, as you can see here, through the S's, you are stressing those tires out quite a lot, especially up this hill, holding a left-hander for quite a bit into Degner, stressing the left-hand tire, or right-hand tire for the previous corner, very much. It's always the outside tire that has to carry all the weight, resist, and as a result, gets a lot of wear. But the reason this car is damaged is because I had to reload, because I thought the audio wasn't picking up. I think that was a mistake by me, but yes. The audio is picking up. I'm very happy to see that. So, what else is there to talk about? Well, I will be focusing today a lot on the top 4, but there are more than 4 people on this track. You will know, you can see, right? I don't want to ignore them, and I do want to give a really big thanks out to all the drivers and everybody in the chat right now for showing up, for making this such a special event. I am truly privileged to be, well, to commentate this season of all, to commentate this amazing community. It's one of the best sim racing communities I can think of. Very clean racing, and I think as far as AMS2 goes, we've got some of the best drivers. I don't think that's an exaggeration. Marcus, Domska, Dikra, and Brandes are extremely quick. We used to have Alan Fry, who I think might still be faster, because he is insane. But yeah, some very quick drivers, and even Michael here, you can see in the practice session, doing a very good job. I'm very privileged to be able to do this, and all of these drivers really make it happen. Michael, of course, being one of them, not fighting for the championship today, but very much fighting for the team championship. We'll lightly think about that, but it's too much math for me right now. Gomestos, who joined recently, but has been showing up very well on the leaderboard. We've got Logic joining for the first time for this season, but he has been there in previous seasons. JJ, Cafalo, of course, very well-known names. Silver, Ditto, Jetlin, household names by this point. Das, also joining us today, and we do have a new driver. I think I'm going to call him GR3 or Greet, maybe. But yeah, he's joining us for the first time today in the McLaren. Don't know what they're expecting, don't know what their goal is, but always happy to see more drivers. Very big thanks to them also for giving SSR a chance, which you don't really need to do, because SSR always delivers. Alright, getting to the end of the practice session. I'm quickly going to raise my desk. I do like to stand up for a little bit of energy. We're getting to qualifying, should be exciting. Won't run ads before qualifying. We'll run them right after, and it's only 1 minute. We should be good. Right, Michael finishes his lap, letting everyone wait. But there we are. Marcus Domskarandas on top. Michael is ahead of Dekra, and so is Kafalor. Now that is interesting. But I do think Dekra wasn't pushing for a fastest lap, and you can see that the Sector 1 times really do portray that. 37.6 is not his limit. Nowhere near it. Right, so who is out of the pits first? Whoever's pit text behind their name disappears first is who I'm going to click. It is Marcus, the championship leader, who we are going to follow for a qualifying lap around what is truly one of the most wonderful tracks in the world. I think for a lot of people this will be their favorite. For a lot of actual drivers, this is their favorite. Former and current. Really stands alone as, well, such a technical and interesting circuit with so many iconic sections or corners. It's one of the few tracks, I think, to have a turning circle of 0. If you know, you know. Yeah, Marcus setting up for his lap. First lap might be a banker lap. I don't know how he is feeling. I know when I started, it was always first try to set a banker, and then maybe we seek the limit a little bit more. These drivers are much better than I've ever been. So let's see how Marcus does it. Championship leader, and a pole position will go a long way to winning this race. Because if you can stay ahead after the first turn, they're not going to overtake you for a little while. Starting this lap, he already aligns the outsides to carry as much speed to here as he can. Minimize the distance he has to drive as well. Fast into here. Ooh, and he's sliding a little bit, but keeping the car under control. Oh, that's a lot of grass. You see how much he is pushing these limits and the S's. All about having the right speed, being in the right gear, holding the right amount of throttle, getting the correct lines. He's getting those lines. Very much so. A blind exit of the corner there. Nails it very well done. A little bit of a release for Declan 1, but Declan 2 is a proper braking zone. Not an overtaking zone. Do not get it twisted. And through here, you align on the right and brake immediately after those curbs for this hairpin. Try to get a good exit out of it, because there is a bit of a straight here where you do want to carry as much speed as you can. Watch out for the Colapinto on the apex. That is a joke. And then brake for Spoon. And here it is very important to get on the throttle as early as you can, but not too early. Very easy to get that wrong. Then we go to 130R, a corner that formerly was 130 meters in diameter. Brake for the last chicane. Very much an overtaking zone, a big fighting zone here. It often continues until after the corner, and you see a line on the right to minimize the distance to the finish line. There he goes, Marcus across the line. It's a 131.7 to start things off. Of course, next question is, what are the other drivers going to do? Dikra, who some people will say has already earned this championship, provided he has a decent race today. Where is he going to end up? Michael, actually within the second of his teammate, doing a very strong job. Cavalo about a second away. Jedlin with a bit of a slower banker, but Dustin is up there again. Now, Dustin is an interesting driver as well today, because I have been giving you all of the information, assuming one of the top 4 wins. Now, I think it's very likely that one of them wins, but there is a scenario where none of them do. And at that point, I just need to consult the computer. I'm very sorry, I do not know all the scenarios. Dika just starts his lap, so he hasn't done one yet. Randus has, and he's currently the fastest out of anyone. What is Domska going to do? Well, Domska is also going to start his very own lap here. So it's going to be Dikra to set his lap time first, and then Domska will have very much a focus on these 4 drivers. Oh, and Dikra makes a mistake. Oh, it's not too costly, of course. You can crash in a simulator and it won't cost you that much, but it will cost you time. And as you can see, 5 minutes has already elapsed. It is a 15-minute session. You essentially get 3 runs. One of those runs is gone for Dikra. It's a relatively long track, so that might be costly for him. Oh, Domska also makes a big mistake. Too much throttle there. Not getting the cleanest of exits, but he does continue this run. You might as well finish it. See where it ends up. It's better to have a time than no time. Dikra will already be back out of the pits, and Randus and Marcus, I'm sure, are setting up for their laps as well. Domska will not get close, I think, to the time of Randus this run, and if he does, I'll be very impressed. But it's still worth finishing this one anyway. Try some things out, like taking all of the curb on the Casio triangle, the last chicane. There it goes across the line. A 5th place for him right now. Cost him a whole second, that one moment. As Randus starts his lap again. And Marcus, I think he is during his lap already. You can see about how much he's pushing there. His rear tires being lit up. Through the spoon curve then. In that second apex pretty well. And you can see how wide he goes. As long as the game accepts it, it is allowed. The white lines are not so much track limited. It's whatever the game says, and I know it's pretty lenient in that corner. Coming out of that corner. See where he lines up, because if he lines up on the right, yes he does. That means that he's finishing a lap. Let's see where he ends up. It is actually not an improvement. Not an improvement for Marcus. Randus still has provisional pole position. It looks like they will get 4 runs, by the way. 8 minutes left, and Marcus has finished his 2nd. Now, of course, Randus might improve. I'm also really interested to see what Dikra is going to do. He hasn't set a lap time yet. Oh, and we also have Geralt. Geralt was a bit of a question mark if he would show up today. But he is here. And we're very happy to see him. So at about 4 minutes left to go, I will do a quick run of everybody that isn't a top 4 driver. There are, well, 16 people showing up here, and we're not just gonna ignore 12 of them. A little bit more today than normal, but I do like to put them into the spotlight. They do take the effort to prepare, to show up here, to communicate with Dustin about wanting to join and everything. So they deserve time in the spotlight. Dikra across the line, but that is not enough. 6th place is not enough. 5th place is also not enough, but 6th place is actually worse, because you're down 1 more position. Domska on another run as well. Really gonna have to work for it. This cannot be where you end up when you are so close to winning this championship. Let me remind you that Domska is one of 2 drivers to be able to win this championship by purely winning the race. The other drivers need something else. Decra specifically needs a fastest lap to secure it. Randus needs a bit of luck. Randus is currently in P1. That is good news for Randus. The bad news for Randus is that Marcus is in P2, and P2 for Marcus would be enough. No matter what. Domska improved his time, but it's 4th place. That is still a Dustin in between you and your targets. That is not good enough. Simply not good enough. You can't afford to have one driver in between you, because you will waste time trying to overtake them, even at the start. And Dustin actually improves to 2nd, and now Marcus, you kind of have a problem there, because if it finishes like this, you're not the champion. Randus is the champion, no matter what. And Dustin might be a very, very interesting factor today, if this is at all representative of what he will do during the race. Will he really be a spoiler for these drivers that are all aching to win this championship, to fight for it? And what is Randus gonna do? He improves himself, his time a little bit. 2/10 more gained. Marcus will want to get closer. He will want to get ahead of Dustin. That is the goal for all of these drivers. Decra still needs to get ahead of Michael. Needs to win a full 2nd. I don't think he's going to be happy with that. Unfortunately, just... Oh, and that's a big mistake! That is a big mistake from Decra out of the 2nd Degner. Too much throttle, and he is running out of time. 4 minutes to go. 6th place. That's just not good enough. Domska gets demoted as well. Michael with a very good improvement, getting himself close to Marcus. Actually a little bit... actually quite a bit away from Domska, who is setting up for a lap. You see how much time he leaves to the car that he just let through. Very, very good idea, because you do not want to be held up. Slipstream is nice, but being held up is such a killer to your run. It's just not going to risk it. Oh, okay, a little bit of a slowdown there. Dust, I think. One of the new drivers, Greetus, or GR3. I'm a little bit of trouble. And that's a mistake from Domska. Ooh, and that is really costly. He's currently 5th place, behind Michael, behind Dustin, it's behind Marcus, but he's fighting Marcus for the championship today. It's looking like Randus has a real shot of winning today. Music to my ears, but I also have to say this is very early. We're not even out of qualifying yet. But as it stands, if the race finishes the way it looks right now, Randus is the champion. He's currently in 4th place, remind you. He is the one driver that needs a little bit of luck to win. Everybody else can force it by getting a win. And Decra also needs to get the fastest lap. Everybody else can force it. Marcus, Randus, and Decra can all do that. Marcus currently in 3rd place, and he's got one more opportunity to improve it, but he's running out. He's running out of time. Domska also running out of time. Decra very much so as well. 6th place. If you start there in this league, it's essentially over. He needs to improve. Two minutes to go. Decra might be on his last run. He will not have the opportunity to cancel this one, I'm afraid. So he just needs to make it happen, and the timing is not good. I will say the timing is not good. Michael is currently in the pits. Michael will not improve. Marcus is currently in the pits, and is Max... Oh, he's gonna cut it very close. It is actually possible. It is actually possible. I will have to amend that. It is possible, but it's gonna be so close. It's not comfortable. Dekra will now have to commit to this run, and if it's not fast enough, he's just gonna have to make it work somehow. 6th place. It is under normal circumstances. It is kind of over. Randus is not improving anymore. 1.2 seconds he needs to gain. Is he going to do that? I'm afraid. Ooh, it's good. 4th place, but it's really not quite enough yet. It's not quite enough yet. It's still behind Marcus, still behind Dustin, and Randus ahead is gonna look like music to his eyes. Whatever, like art, it's gonna look like a painting. He's gonna frame that in his mind. It's gonna give him the confidence. Yes, I can do this. Especially if Dustin stays in 2nd place, he can absolutely win this. And if he can run away at the start and has no trouble with back markers or anything, Randus very much has a very good position to win this race. And Dustin is not the kind of guy to be like, you know what? I'm not racing here. I'll accept 5th. He's going to fight for 2nd. He's going to fight for 1st if he can. But he's also really going to fight for 2nd. Domska at the end of his lap. Couple of seconds to go for you to start a lap. Marcus, I think. Yeah, Marcus is just about in time. Look at how close that is. He's just about in time to start his. Domska has improved, but it's only 4th place. Still behind Dustin, but it is ahead of Dekra. And Dekra is not improving. I think that's a resignation from Dekra. Marcus will get one more chance. All eyes on Marcus. Randus is not improving. On board with him. That doesn't look very comfortable out of the 2nd deck now. Well, I've lost quite a bit of time there. Last stretch for Marcus then. It doesn't look like a very good lap, to be honest. But I've seen stranger things. Let's see what he can do. You can also see, oh, he is kind of... He was kind of helping Michael, I thought, but it might be Michael helping him, actually, with a little bit of slipstream. Although I don't know if that's going to be enough. Marcus currently in P3. He crosses the line and is staying P3. Marcus is starting from 3rd place. Dustin takes pole position out of nowhere. Dustin steals away pole position from the entire top 4, from all of these drivers that have a chance to win this championship. We're going to go to a break. What a twist. What an incredible twist. As I get a moment to figure out what exactly happened everywhere else. Das in 13th, and Jetlin, Ditto, and Logic. Okay, we've got everything set up then. And what a twist there. Dustin finding quite a bit of pace there at the end. Completely, well, I would say unexpected, but you could see the times he had it in him. More than Marcus, more than Domska, more than Dekra, who were all struggling. The gaps aren't massive. The entire top 6 is within, well, roughly half a second. Might go a little bit out of that, but the gap is small. And you can see Gerald hasn't practiced at all. He just joined without any practice. But he is there, currently in P7. Very nicely done. Silver, very, very good job. P8. He's really showing his pace more and more. Do think he has a slightly... No, actually. Yeah, he does have slightly low downforce, I think. His first sector is a bit worse, but his last sector is a little bit better. Cavalo decent. GR3 on the first outing. P10, very respectable, especially given that he's ahead of Gomestos, JJ, Das, Jetlin, and Ditto. Ditto's last chance this season to get some points behind his name. He hasn't got any yet. He will be fighting to stay alive today and try to make it happen. All right. What does the grid look like? Let's have a look. Dustin, an unexpected twist here. Pole position for him. Can he make it a good start as well and maybe even win this race as a bit of an upset? It is possible, and then we're just going to have to do math. It's going to be a bit harder for Randers to win that way, but he is currently in second place. Every chance to overtake, and if he wins with Dustin in second, he will be the champion. In third place, we have Marcus, then Domska, then Dikra. These three drivers, they all need to fight for that win as well. It's going to be messy. They need to get in a good position, need to be able to follow, and then they need to fight cleanly. Because if you mess up, if you try to crash someone else out, the stewards are going to think something of it, but you might also crash yourself out, and that's end of championship, essentially. Then we have Michael doing a great job as P6. Will be spoiler for Dikra and Domska. Marcus probably not so much. Then we have Geralt, Dustin, Cavalo, GR3 on the first outing. Very good job on P10. Then Gomestos, then JJ. Next place we have Das, Jetlin, Ditto, and Logic. All of those drivers on the grid. Very ready to go, I'm sure. What a good job from Dustin. I don't wanna like glaze him too much, as they say. But under the pressure of everybody's maybe more under pressure. Maybe that slows them down a little bit. But you did beat Randers, Marcus, Domska, and Dikra all in a qualifying session in Japan. He had struggles since before last race, but he solved them, and he's in pole position. Let's see how the start is. I can't see exactly what's going on, but Dustin has a decent start. Randers has a bit of a shocking start. Has to cut off Marcus. Marcus still in P3 on the inside. Is he going to try and make a move past Randers? Because I do think he wants to. Dustin is going to stay ahead. Randers stays in second, then Marcus, Dikra. Michael has gotten past Domska, who has actually dropped back all the way to P8. Domska has a bit of a shocker for his start. Right behind Cavalo, Geralt, and Michael now, who's going to have to fight his way back past to fight for that championship. Randers also has to work cut out for him. He has to defend against Marcus, who is on his tail, but the very smart driver is not going to make a move into Deck 1. That's not going to happen, but he might make a move at the next turn, although he has other problems, namely Dikra, who is very, very close. The inside Marcus is looking, but there is just nothing to see there. No gaps to dive into. And Dustin is shooting away. Dustin might have a bit of a different strategy, of course. We did talk about strategy briefly during practice. If one driver is suddenly faster than everyone else by a big margin, probably a strategy difference. We will have to look at Marcus, because he is quite close. He's in the slipstream. 130R is, I think, essentially flat out, right? He does have to lift. Oh, and Dustin really has to lift. Randers on the outside now. Dustin is able to defend. Ooh, and they keep it so clean. Marcus is trying to benefit from this, and he does on the inside. Takes a little bit of slipstream from Dustin, who will now be trying to give it to Randers. Causes a bit of chaos, but look at how fast Marcus is. Marcus around the outside is actually 3 wide. Randers is further on the outside. Ooh, and Marcus has to concede that a little bit, but actually stays in P2. Overtakes Randers, and Randers drop back to P4. Dikra taking advantage of an insane 3 wide situation. Now, as we were talking about that, Domska has actually fought his way back up to the top 6. Small error from Marcus. He keeps a hold of his car. Good opportunity for Dikra, though, to reclaim that championship that he currently owns. And there he goes into second place. It is good, but it is not quite enough. He does need the fastest lap. Otherwise, he does not become champion. In fact, if he's second, I'm not even sure if that's enough. Because of countback. We'll talk about that in a bit. I might have to pull up some graphics to make sure. Currently, the gap between Dikra and Marcus is 6 points. He needs an extra point to get level on points, but I think he also needs to win on countback. I think that's to tie on wins. And then he has a second place. And Marcus actually on the inside said, we don't need to go to countback. I'm just going to overtake. But he actually doesn't do it. Around the outside then. Oh, he hangs on. Tries to make it difficult, but Dikra, very well defended, stays in second place. Now we'll be trying to get closer to Dustin. Marcus having to defend against Randers, who is getting close. Michael still between Randers and Domska, playing a little bit of spoiler, but purely for Domska, honestly. I will say Domska isn't losing that much. If you look at the time differential, he's currently about 2 seconds away. He was also that far away halfway through lap 1. So he's actually not lost that much because of all the fighting. Randers makes a bit of a mistake, and now Michael, being a bit of extra spoiler, gets past him. And Domska, oh, he's looking. I think if Michael is a smart spoiler, he actually started on soft and tried to maximize his speed. As Dikra is getting closer to Dustin. Now, that is a position he needs, and he also needs the fastest lap. I'm sure he will have calculated this beforehand, right? Because if he needs to win, and he needs that fastest lap. Second place with fastest lap with Marcus in third is not enough. Marcus has won a race extra. I think that is the difference. We'll double check when things get a little bit calmer, because it's not calm at all. Dikra getting closer, looking around the outside of 130R. This is not a move you make, but it's a setup for a move. Oh, and he's done that to perfection, except Marcus gets past Dikra at least. Oh, and he's trying to force the move on Dustin as well. He's trying to force it. It is not working. Dustin is still in the lead, but look at how close it is. It is 3 wide. Oh, this could be disaster, but Marcus currently ahead. How is he going to negotiate this? Everybody lets him live, and it's Marcus in the lead, Dikra in second place, and Dustin overtaken twice in only a handful of corners. Michael is currently in P4, blocking Randers and Domska from any chance to win this championship. And as it stands right now, the leader of the championship is the leader of this race. And if he can run away, he can bring it home. And if the start of this race has been any evidence of anything, is that you're not running away from from these drivers. Problem is, they're not just fast, they're also kind of smart. They have a lot of experience on the track. They know that sometimes you don't fight, sometimes you catch up. That's exactly what Dikra will be trying to do, and that's exactly what Dustin will not stop him from doing. Because Dustin also wants to win this race. Is looking like Marcus has the better pace. It's looking like that, at least in the corners, because on the straights, Dikra is super strong. I think we're looking at a bit of a wing differential here. You can see, there's a little bit of, I think that's Randers going off track, holding on to his position behind Michael. I'm not sure what Domska will think of that. I also have to note, Gerald Switz is actually close to this pack. It's a 7-car pack at the front. You see, Domska is doing very small things to try and look for an opportunity. He's staying very close. This is super impressive to do, by the way. Especially through these corners. It's also Dustin having to defend against Michael, and Marcus is actually a second away. Well, did I see a puff of smoke? Oh, I did! It's Randers! Randers is in the wall! Randers in the wall, and so is Domska. They must have collided. And they've lost so much. They've lost so much time. Currently, Domska is in 8th place. Randers is in 10th place. We didn't quite catch the incident, but the consequences, we very much did. We very much did catch. Gerald Smith currently in P5 is a little bit behind Michael. Maybe he was also kind of caught up in that. Or he slowed down to not be caught up in that. Yeah, Domska and Randers is not impossible, but that is a big gap. That is such a big gap, and it's looking like it's going to be a 2-horse race today. Dikra and Marcus are going to have to fight it out, and that's also bad news for Dikra, Because not only does he have to win the race, he also needs to get a fast lap. You see that gap is now a lot larger than it was when we checked in last lap. Marcus very much has good pace in his car. Tires are working well. We're only 6 laps into a 35 lap race. Anything can still happen. Guys, losing a little bit of time. We do see Dustin and Michael are still close together. This is the gap, visualized. Randers currently has clean air. He is going to chase down Domska. He's going to try and extract all the pace that he can. Although he was in the wall, there's every chance that he has some damage on his suspension, on his wings, and that is going to cost him time. It's that simple, unfortunately, as GR3 does have to deal with Domska, but lets him live, very much so. I say that, I kinda got close, but he lets everybody live. Very nice, very well done. Domska making his way through, and JJ is the next on his plate. Where does that leave us? Well, we got one retirement, and I will need to figure out who that is, because I truly have it's Jetlin. Unfortunately, Jetlin retired from the race. It was very quick check. I had a guess, and that was correct. Impressively, though, JJ is currently in P6. He started P12, currently in P6. Doing a very good job. Nobody's stopped yet, by the way. This is all natural. And he has the right to defend here. I don't think he is going to defend too hard. He knows Domska is just faster. Not just out of respect of, well, you're fighting for the championship and I'm not going to get in your way. But Domska is just faster and he's just going to get past. Nobody is being given an easy time here, but it's just not easy to hold Domska behind you. There he goes. And now it is 7 seconds to make up to Geralt. Put yourself back into the fight. Truth be told, he's gonna need a strategical advantage, or he's gonna need a safety car. I've seen stranger things this season. There's every opportunity for Marcus to make a mistake. There's every opportunity for Decra to make a mistake. There's every opportunity for them to make a mistake together, visit the same wall together, and suddenly, oh, and there's a mistake, I think, from JJ, oh, who does hit the wall. Puff of smoke, and yeah, their Randers goes as well. A bit of an easy one for him. Bit of a reprieve. His teammate Silver also makes his way past JJ. Hopefully not too much damage. Raffalo is also coming up. We'll be looking to overtake as well. Michael and Dustin still very close together. Oh, and Dustin makes a mistake. Actually, we might be looking at an overtake here. Around the outside for the hairpin. It's going to be a tough one. But here he goes. Oh, and actually Dustin defends it to perfection. The outside line there is not faster. Following that slipstream. Faster in a straight line because of it. He's gonna have to compromise through here a little bit. No, he does not actually. Look at his position. It's very good. Oh, he thinks better of it. It's just not good enough. It's good, but not good enough. Interestingly, Domschke is getting closer to Geralt, quite impressively, but he's not actually getting close to the leader. He's also not losing any time to the leader. If I look at the timings table, which I will do for this occasion, Marcus and Dikra are roughly matched in pace. Dikra is slightly faster. Domschke is straight up matching the pace of Marcus. Randus is currently not. Might be dealing with other things, including damage, but is currently not matching the time. JJ is now into the pits, and I imagine that is to repair damage. Marcus, the Red Bull driver, in the lead against the reigning champion, Dikra. Overtaking Marcus will not be good enough on its own, but it does give him an opportunity to force it if he can get a hold of that fastest lap. Currently, the fastest lap is in the hands of, well, Marcus, his biggest rival. So, it's very much going to give Marcus a strong advantage to win this race. I am going to compute exactly how the championship will look a couple of times this race. As Marcus does go into the pits, Dikra keeps going. That is interesting. That is an advantage for Dikra. Let me remind you, these cars refuel. And when you have more fuel in your car is heavier. That's an effect of these cars. Well, any car really. When you drive longer, you burn up fuel, your car gets lighter, it gets faster as well. And you see both of the Red Bull drivers, actually, his teammate Michael is also into the pits. Marcus is coming out behind Domschke. That is interesting. That's very interesting. Although Domschke immediately makes a mistake and Marcus is actually very close. This is going to slow Marcus down quite a bit. And Dikra has a golden opportunity. Dikra very much has a golden opportunity. If he stops this lap, he might even already be ahead. But if he keeps going, and his car being as light as it is, it's going to be faster if his tires are good enough. And he has every opportunity to really pull this race into his favor. Of course, second place is still good enough for Marcus. Potentially. But of course he just wants to win this race. He wants no doubts. He wants to overtake GR3 as quickly as he can. We'll take, I think, the opportunity at the end of this straight. Looking at the chicanes, and if not that, it's going to be the start-finish straight. I don't think he can leave it much longer. Dikra is currently into the pits. He's into the pits, and this is actually an opportunity again for Domschke if he can get past. Geralt is also into the pits, so Dustin is now the race leader. Domschke is also going into the pits. Domschke is not holding up Marcus more than he needs to, but Dikra is now in the lead of the race. He emerges ahead of GR3 and ahead of Marcus, who is still not past him. Of course, do not get it twisted. GR3 has every right to defend this position as long as he's reasonable about it. And from what I've seen, I've not seen anything illegal. I've not seen anything crazy. He's just defending successfully against Marcus, and he's allowed to do that. There is nothing wrong with that. But it does put Marcus into a difficult position. And he will be kind of kicking himself, I think, for not looking at where he was going to end up. It could also very much be kind of luck of the draw. If you just start your race with a specific amount of fuel, you are forcing yourself to box at some point. And yes, you will be driving these cars until the tank is empty, because that's when your car is fastest. Looking at the inside of Spoon then, and what a move there from Marcus. Oh, but it is actually a very beautiful switchback from GR3, showing his wheel-to-wheel skills on his first race. But around the outside, Marcus stays. Marcus needs to get past. He knows it. He sees Dikra there. That's who he's focused on. He doesn't want to deal with this McLaren here. GR3 is letting him live, but on the inside then for the next chicane, Marcus later on the brakes, and that is him past. And he's gonna, I'm sure he's gonna be a little bit upset, but fair play. Fair play, very much so. The other three had every right to defend himself there. And he actually has just a very good car in a straight line. So I think it's just a frustration from Marcus. But there he goes. Into Sector 1. He goes into third place currently, effectively second after Dustin stops. Well, if Dustin hasn't stopped yet, that might also be interesting. If Dustin doesn't stop as much as other people, Dustin might straight up win this race. I will say 4 interviews later, we will start interviewing the champion. So even if Dustin wins, he gets to sit that out and he gets to go second. Of course, oh, and there's a mistake from GR3, who was doing so great. Into the wall a little bit. Hopefully not too much damage, but I think he does have a little bit. Keeps going. Has to let a couple of people by, because unfortunately, if you do have damage or your car is slower, you really shouldn't be fighting. You're currently in the lead still. Marcus is a little bit behind. If I look at the timings, I'm looking at Dieker's fastest lap is a 33.1. Marcus is still with the fastest lap. That's an extra point. That matters. Dustin is in the pits. That means Dieker will likely retake the lead. Good for him. Marcus will probably be ahead of Dustin as well. Dustin now moves and Randers is also going into the pits. Now, I am not entirely certain how many stops we're expecting. But I also think Dustin has a bit of an advantage later on the race, because he stopped later this time. It does mean that an overcut from Marcus and Dikra is a bit devastating. 7 seconds behind Dikra right now. Could be a lot worse. Don't get me wrong. Could be a lot worse. But it is a pretty big gap. Michael currently in P4 and GR3 is actually still out in P5. Could be a bit of a spoiler later on this race. Domska is currently in P8, Randers in P9. For 2 of the championship contenders, this race has not gone their way at all. For Marcus, currently, he's in P2. He's driving towards the race, getting closer and closer. He currently, as it stands, does have the championship in hand. He doesn't need to win this race, although I think it would be a lot better for the conversation if he did. And if he doesn't win this race, of course, it gives Dikra an opportunity to go for a fast lap, and Dikra will need to go for one at some point during this race. He does need to set a very strong lap time. That is an exercise that he needs to fulfill. And it's also up to Marcus, of course, to put that bar as high as possible, to make it as difficult as possible for Dikra to do that. Currently does have the fastest lap. If that is still true, yes, it absolutely is. Of course, there's a chance for, I don't know, Gomestos to like set a super strong lap as well, and then Dikra can't beat it. And then that's how he doesn't win. That's possible. At some point during this race, Dikra needs to set a very strong lap. Currently, I don't think his strategy allows for it. He's clearly saving a little bit. Marcus' strategy is a little bit, I wouldn't say broken, but it's not ideal. Absolutely not ideal right now. Why is it not ideal? Well, he does have... he stopped a little earlier, right? His tires will be better. I don't know how much fuel he has, but if his stint is the same as the last one, that's what I'm worried about. He's going to stop earlier again. He's going to lose more time. He's kind of slowly putting himself on the back foot. And that gives Dikra an opportunity to, for one stint, be like, you know what, I'm actually going short this stint. I'm going to try to get a fastest lap, because that's a necessary condition for me to win this championship. As it stands right now anyway, with Marcus in second place, he needs it. Also interesting, Dustin is currently behind Michael, after all was said and done with the pit stops. Michael third, which I think he will be very happy with. Dustin in fourth place. GR3 currently still in 5th. Overtaken by Geralt into turn 1. Oh, Geralt makes a bit of a mistake. So very, very nice switchback. GR3 is very much showing that, well, the pace is not as good as the leaders. The racecraft is certainly there. We're very happy to see that. From what I've seen, anyway. Maybe I'm being tricked. It has happened before. Domska in P8 currently. Of course, championship essentially over for him and Randers. There will be very sad 20 laps to follow for them. But there is, of course, a chance of a safety car. And a safety car does not, like, put them ahead of Affalo and... I think I just saw Domska disappear. I think Domska has just disappeared. He's retired. And Domska will not be your Season 7 Grand Prix Classics champion. That is devastating. Absolutely devastating. Hopefully, I'll hear a little bit from him about what happened. That is devastating to see. Rana's currently in P8. Same situation for him. Hopefully he doesn't retire. Hopefully we'll hear from Domska a little bit and hear what happened. But unfortunately with that retirement, it is... Yeah, it's just not going to be him today. Not the season. Season 5, of course, he was your champion. Absolutely deserved as well. Super strong in that first half of the season. Second half of the season, he wasn't as strong. Got a little bit of competition from Gerald Schmidt at the time. Last race, he put all of that doubt to bed. He just grabbed the championship with both hands. There was no doubt he was the better man that season. Last season, simply put, he was fighting with D-Crab, but D-Crab was just so much stronger. The 2012 cars that D-Crab had under full control. Such a good job as Marcus does now try to overtake D-Crab for the lead of the race. D-Crab is still defending it. I was looking at it. I didn't think it was enough. Marcus makes a slight mistake there, trying to go for it too early on the throttle. The gap wasn't there yet. The gap is now simply too big. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, D-Crab, as I said, last season was simply too strong for Domska. A dominant performance that season was. He managed to grab the championship a race early, which in an 8-race championship is super impressive. And now for D-Crab, if he wants to extend this championship reign, the job is clear. Very much so. He just needs to hold up Marcus. I don't know how aggressive he wants to be in that. Because as a fun little let's say you are Hamilton in 2016, right? Lewis Hamilton, you want to win the championship, but you're like, oh, in the last race, if I win, it's not enough, and I need this guy to go further back. You try to drop your teammate back into the clutches of other drivers to try and win the championship, which I think was very fair game, you know. You're trying to win the championship. D-Crab could be like, you know what, I am Hamilton. I'm going to drop back Marcus into the clutches of the driver behind. But the driver behind is Marcus's teammate. I think Michael would be, you know what, I'm just going to do the same thing and drop Dustin back, I guess, and we're robbing you from that opportunity. Marcus doesn't want any of that nonsense though, he just wants to overtake, which I think is going to be easier said than done. D-Crab is very much motivated to keep this fight going. If he can stay ahead until pit stops, and Marcus stops earlier, as we predict, then he has every opportunity to win this race and the championship. And that is what he will be gunning for. do see there's a bit of a fight here between GR3 and Cavalo. Cavalo trying to put the overtake on him. See, the racing is very much clean from these drivers. They're doing a very good defensive job there, holding on to that 7th position. That's up to 3 points for the championship. Even if it's his only race, being the last race as well of the season. You know what? That's still worth it. Absolutely worth fighting for. And Marcus boxes. That is what we were fearing. And it does look like Marcus is on a 3 stop, because we're halfway through this race. It is his 2nd stop, unless he's going on hards. And I don't know how that will pay off, if that will pay off. He's stopping. Michael is also in the pits. This is very much a coordinated planned stop between these 2 drivers. Dustin into P2, along with his teammate. That might be interesting. Gerald also being ahead of Marcus. Marcus emerging in P4. And fairly good clear air ahead of him. That is good news for Marcus. Last time it was a disaster, having to battle with people, but now he doesn't have to do that. And Dikra still has overcut opportunities here. Trying to set the fastest lap he can, I'm sure. 33.07 was his fastest, but actually Marcus has also improved to a 32.9. So Marcus still has the fastest lap of the race. If we're thinking disaster scenarios, how can things still go wrong for, say, Marcus? Because he does currently have effectively the championship. If there's a safety car right now, we have a proper championship fight. If there's a safety car right now, Marcus will feel a little bit screwed, maybe. Yes, actually, for sure. Because Dikra's going to get a free pit stop. Dikra's actually going to stop immediately. He says, you know what, I don't want to risk being on the cut. And maybe his fuel was running out anyway. It also looks like Dikra is on the 3 stop though. So there's no stop advantage. And interestingly for the championship, his last stint is going to be shorter. When the track is at its best, Dikra will have the opportunity to try and go for a fastest lap of the race. Dikra is moving again. And will emerge ahead of Marcus. That gap has grown. Because that overcut is just so strong. Especially on this track, it seems. The tires hold up. And the weight of the car is what's really holding you back. Dikra holds on to the effective lead of the race. Dustin is currently your leader. He's going to have to stop as well. And did notice that he stopped a lot later last time. If he again stops a lot later, I think we're talking lap 23. I think we're looking at Dustin doing a stop less, and that could mean that Dustin wins this race. And if that's the case, then Dikra is out of hope, out of luck. If Dustin wins this race, then Dikra is out of luck, I'm afraid. Then there is no path for Dikra to become champion if Marcus finishes 3rd. Count back simply does not favor him in that case. And Marcus doesn't want it to be like that. Marcus doesn't want to finish 3rd and win the championship. Marcus wants to finish 1st and win the championship. And if that's not allowed, because Dustin is just faster. Dustin could still be overtaken by pace, by the way. Keep that in mind. The gap is currently 10 seconds between them. He could still be overtaken purely on pace later. But at the very least, Marcus will want to finish ahead of Dekra. Put a little talk of Dekra actually being the fastest driver at rest, because he got beaten at the last race. Yeah. That would be a nice way to really put a claim on the championship. Going a little bit further than, yeah, just having the trophy. Randus is slowly trying to reintroduce himself into the fight. Not really successfully. It's still too far away. The championship contenders are currently second and third, 10 seconds ahead. And I believe Randus does have still one more stop to go compared to those two guys. Dekra and Marcus both probably only have to do one more. I'm guessing Randus has to do two more. And I feel like this might be when he stops. Maybe. No, not yet. Maybe he's trying to extend. In which case, that is a strategy that could put you back into the fight. Currently in P4, if there is a safety car, he's absolutely back in it. Marcus currently in P5. Also, very impressive job. Doing for his teammate what he can. At least he did in the opening phase. And you know what? At the end of the day, it might have made the difference. Because Marcus is still in a fight with Dekra, and it might not have been the case if Dekra was allowed to roam free. And not be caged by a Michael. Okay, we'll take this opportunity to look at some of the other drivers. We've talked about the top 6 quite a bit. Cavalo is currently in P7 though, which is a very impressive position to be in. Then we do have Logic, who I'm pretty sure is not supposed to be in this car, but he is in this car, so that's Logic. Was first outing this season, doing a very solid job. P8, very good. GR3, who we have enjoyed watching very much. Very good driving standards. He's still fighting with Logic and Cavalo. So, very much opportunities to keep fighting. Especially if Logic and Cavalo fight amongst themselves, which they are about to do. And then GR3 can absolutely put himself back into that fight. Logic following in the slipstream, but the difference in pace, straight line pace at least, is still favoring Cavalo. Michael getting close to Randus, or staying close to Randus. Actually, these two are catching up to Dustin in terms of pace. I do think we're very much looking at Dustin, who's going to stop once less than Marcus and Dekra, who are going to have to fight amongst themselves. But I think Dekra also needs to realize that this is all fruitless if he cannot get ahead of Dustin. And ideally, maybe there is a chance that Dekra doesn't have to have the fastest lap. I sketch you a scenario. Let's say at the end of the race, Dustin is still ahead on his last stint, and Dekra and Marcus are catching rapidly. There's 2 laps to go, and they're all together. Maybe Dekra is second, Dustin is first, and Marcus is third. Let's say the exact position as they are in now, just much closer together. If Dekra is smart, he overtakes on the last corner in such a way that Dustin can stay ahead of Marcus, and if he can pull that off, then Dekra will finish first, Dustin second, and Marcus third, and that will give enough points difference that Dekra does win the championship. And then there is no doubt that he deserved it. I'm not sure if that's something he thinks about, but really he needs to be thinking about staying ahead of Marcus right now. on the grass there. That is not good. Marcus looking on the inside. He actually makes it on the inside, and he seems to be passed. Not fully. Dikra does have a bit of an advantage here, being on the inside there. Going to turn to the outside for the spoon curve, and he might already be fully passed. He is not. Marcus is going to stick a nose in. Oh, and Dikra slightly wide there. They do keep fighting, but Marcus gets ahead. Dikra very close behind though, and I do think he has a better straight line speed. Around the outside of 130R. It is barely ever done, but it might be done here. Around the outside, he's holding on for the inside of the chicane. You can see them break into there. Oh, and Marcus, oh, they touch. Marcus with a little bit of touch there on Dikra's rear. Not sure if Dikra will be happy with that. Dustin is in the pits now for his final stop, I would have to assume. And Dikra gets back ahead. That is crucial. If he lets Marcus run, then he has a little bit of a problem, because he might never get ahead again, even if Marcus stops earlier. Dikra is holding on to a critical win condition here, because Marcus needs to stop before Dikra, which, if the last two stops are anything to go by, will happen. But it is also a problem, because if they slow down too much, they might be too far from Dustin to be able to win the race, and that would actually be bad for Dikra again. Dikra is essentially fighting on a knife's edge. He needs a very, very specific situation to happen. There's only two that will get him the championship right now. It is getting Dustin in second with himself in first, or somehow getting the fastest lap point and winning the race. And both of these, I'll be honest, both of these scenarios are quite unlikely, because catching Dustin on the very last lap of the race and not giving Marcus an opportunity to overtake, that is so specific. It doesn't happen that easily. Marcus is actually side by side with Dikra again and re-overtakes. What is Dikra gonna do? He's gonna have to re-overtake on the start of this race. He is setting himself up very nicely for a good exit here. A bit too much jostling, I think, over the curbs. Actually gives him a bit of a mediocre exit. It's okay. Stay close. I don't think he's going to be able to re-overtake. But if he can stay close, it might be enough that he stays ahead after pit stops. And that is going to be what he has to bank for. That's gonna have to be the strategy. There's nothing else. Right now, Marcus is ahead. Marcus is in the lead. Marcus is winning the championship as it stands. I do see somebody else has retired, and I do. It's not logic. It's JJ. JJ has unfortunately retired, leaving us 13 drivers and almost a point for Ditto. If one more person retires and it's not Ditto, Ditto has a point. I think in terms of position, he's a little bit far away from Gomestos. 1.5 minutes. That's a little bit much. I think the rest of the remaining drivers are actually quite clean. Does do a very good job as well. Currently in 10th. He is stopping right now, so he will drop a bit. As you can see, Silver on the start finish straight. That's standing still. Gomestos also here. There we go. Do have to note, Dikra stays close. Dikra is still close. Going through the Casio Triangle. Very much close. And Marcus is gonna stay out now. Marcus probably going to keep going for maybe 1 or 2 more laps. This knife's edge situation that Dikra is in right now, which is in part caused by Donska and Randers simply being eliminated from the championship. It's very unique. Dikra does have a 32.9, but so does Marcus, and Marcus is slightly better. Currently, in terms of fastest lap time, it's still Marcus. Yeah, a bit of dust from the gravel there. You can see how much Dikra is pushing. He knows that he needs to try and get ahead again, or at the very least, stay close. Within a second. Within a second is where he needs to be. Trying to follow through Spoon Curve. Good exit there. It's quite difficult. Marcus seems to be so good at these exits. Around the outside then. Oh, it gets blocked off very, very professionally by Marcus. Making his car as wide as it can be. You can see. Yeah, and there he pulls into the pits. Now, that is interesting because Decra is going to be fast. Decra is going to have a very light car right now. And he's going to push as hard as he can. Now, we do need to look at Mr. Spoiler here. Dustin. Michael's also in the pits. This is very much planned by both of the Red Bull boys. Dustin as a spoiler, he will likely emerge ahead of Marcus, who is now moving again, but Dustin has overtaken. Dustin is going to be effectively in the lead of the race after Decra has also stopped, but he's not far ahead of Marcus. He's not far ahead of Marcus right now. Marcus is going to have the better tires, going to have very good pace. Marcus is going to catch up. Absolutely. Ideal situation for Decra. If we can theory craft a little bit, you get in between Dustin and Marcus and you just terrorize Marcus for the rest of the race. Is that what we're gonna have to bank on? Best thing you can really do maybe is just try to get past Dustin instead of fastest lap time that Marcus cannot beat. Maybe that's the best way. I don't know, it's not looking good for Decra, that's what I'm trying to say. It might be worth staying out another lap. But I will say, if you stay out too long and Marcus gets past Dustin, you are putting yourself in a position where you need to drive the fastest lap. That is possible. He's currently going into the pits though. He's going into the pits. He's going to likely emerge around where Dustin is. I hope. Oh no! No! Oh no! I thought I saw that. I thought I saw that. The smoke from the tires. He locked up going into the pits because it was approaching it too fast. The pressure got to him and Decra has a 10-second time penalty. And that is not something you can overcome. I don't think he's going to overcome that. And he's going to be kicking himself. He's going to be absolutely kicking himself. He is currently in between Marcus and Dustin. It's kind of where he wanted to be, but the time penalty. As you can see here, penalty 10 seconds. Marcus is not going to be 10 seconds away from you. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. It seems like it's going to be Marcus's championship. And there will be asterisks. There will be, people saying, you know what? Decra was a better driver for most of it. And it was the fact that he didn't show up at Spa that didn't give him the championship. But it's also moments like these where the points say what the points say. And you're fighting for that win. In the last race, you need to be there. And it was a rotten race for Randers, who was caught up in an incident with Domska, which cannot be allowed, of course, in the last race by either driver. And it's mistakes like these, just going into the pits too fast, giving yourself a 10-second time penalty. I'm not sure if he's going to forgive himself for that. I just got a message from Domska. Well, I asked him. He said it was a messy race. The crash with Randers, very much a racing incident. He says, of course, I think the stewards will look at it, but It kind of looks like it from what we could see. We didn't quite see it, but you know, just like how you can measure light beams to measure how far away planets are without actually having a tape measure that long. We could kind of infer, which is probably a bit of a racing incident. Stikra does try to go for an overtake on Dustin. But then also he spun twice after that and had a massive crash in the S's, so that's why he retired in the end. Stikra does get past, but actually Dustin is fighting back. Dustin going around the outside, maybe. His tires will not be as good. And Stikra takes the lead of the race. There is one more opportunity. This is dumb, but it can happen. It can still happen. If Stikra has, like, insane pace, I'm talking 3 seconds a lap at Marcus, and Dustin defends like a lion, then it is still possible. Then we can still have that coveted Stikra championship, but one has to assume, once Marcus makes it past Dustin, it is over. Surely it is over. Then we get to crown a new champion. Very much the driver of the season, no matter how you spin things. First two races very much looked poised for a win at some point during the season. And it was under specific circumstances, unfortunate circumstances, that happened in the third race, and then he did it again in the fourth race. I'm fully on pace. And this time, again, the circumstances are abnormal. Domska having an incident with Randers, putting both of them out of contention, is a little bit of luck that came to him, for sure. Not having to worry about that. Stikra, very good fight here. But, yeah. Overshooting the pit lane and losing the championship that way. I did get some confirmation, because we do want to absolutely make sure, because sometimes leagues will be like, you know what, it's not exciting, we're going to change it. But this league, very much, if you make a mistake, you have to own it. And Stikra is going to have to live with it. He's going to have to live with it. Marcus is getting closer to Dustin. And once this overtake is finished, he gets past cleanly. We can safely conclude that Marcus will be your champion. 32 laps will be done at the end of this one. And we'll have 3 more to go around the outside of 130R. Is there a more beautiful place to take your championship? Not really. He holds it, as we've seen so many times. Oh, and Dustin just tried to really cover it up. He just really wants that race win, because he is also fighting for that. But hey, this gives an unlikely opportunity to Stikra still. Absolutely does. If these two fight each other's head off, because they're already 2.5 seconds behind Stikra. 3 laps to go. If they do that again, 3 more times, lose 2.5 seconds each lap, which is very much... I've seen crazier things happen in battles before. If that happens, then it's going to be the craziest conclusion to any season I've ever seen. One has to conclude Marcus very much deserves the championship. He also has the fast lap of the race, still. I don't think that's going to change. Most important thing for Marcus is that he doesn't lose too much time to Stikra. There's 2 ways to do that. One is battling an insane amount. Like, we're not just talking battling a little bit, because you will only lose like 1, maybe 2 seconds a lap. You lose 2.5 seconds a lap, which is... You would have to like stand still on the chicane several times. This lap they didn't lose as much. on the inside then of 130R. He does pull that off. He's still on the outside. Dustin is absolutely going to want to defend this, but he overshoots the chicane, and surely that is game over. Surely he has to concede that position, and I think he will. He's not going to defend this. Yeah, there you go. He breaks a little early. Oh, he is still defending this. He's going to have to sue it himself for that one, I'm afraid. 3.8 seconds. The gap from Marcus to Dekra. Dekra needs to actually be 10 seconds ahead of Dustin, so it's even worse than you would assume. 2 laps to go. And there is a scenario where Dekra wins, and it is the craziest scenario possible. And it's just not going to happen. Right? Marcus has been excellent this season. So has Dekra. So has Randers. So has Domsko, who unfortunately couldn't see it till the end of the race. They have been the best. But only one can be champion. In the end. We can put any asterisks we like on the end of the season. We can look at Spa, we can look at Hockenheim. But the points say what the points say. And Marcus kind of lets Dustin go. It's like, you know what? We're actually not gonna fight ourselves. Fight myself out of the championship win. It's just not going to happen. Dekra starts the last lap of the race. And it is a last lap, a very melancholical last lap, I think, for him. Where he could think of what could have been if things had finished the way they do now. He would have been champion. But the rules are as they are. And they have to be followed. In any race. Just the same as this one. As bitter as it is, it's just not going to be his time. It's going to be Dustin that is going to win this race. It's going to be Marcus that is going to try and take it away from him right at the end. It's also going to be Marcus who has one more opportunity to throw the championship away. Because if this is a horrific crash, I don't even know. I don't think it will be. Around the outside, Marcus already ahead, outside of 130R. Not a horrific crash. Into the last chicane. Dustin has been so desperate to protect himself. Ooh, but they are side by side through the last chicane. Marcus is really going to want to win this on the track. It's going to be a drag race. And Marcus just has the better line. It is going to be Marcus, not Dustin, that wins this race. And it is going to be Marcus who is your Grand Prix Classics Season 7 champion without a shadow of doubt. And I unfortunately have to report that my graphics are broken. We'll fix them real quick. But yeah, he is your champion. And very much a special way to do it. Winning on Spa, circumstances be as they may be. But there you are. Marcus is your Season 7 champion. Winning the last race in the last corner. After a time penalty from Dekra. And well, Dustin unfortunately being robbed right at the end. Dekra did get the fastest lap. That is interesting. I don't know how to tackle the interview. Guys, I'm scared. I don't want to tell him. I do not want to tell him. I don't want to tell Dekra what could have been. Hopefully we'll hear his reaction. I can understand if he's so despondent that he doesn't want to. But yeah, there you are. Marcus wins the race because Dekra had a 10-second time penalty. He did have the fastest lap. Gap is small, but he did have the fastest lap. And the bitter thing is, if he didn't have the penalty, he would have been champion. So many what ifs this season. There are 3 now. 3 big things. 2 out of his control, 1 very much in it. And at the end it cost him. So let's move on. Racing is, it's not straightforward. If you watch Formula One, if you've been invested in any championship, specifically if you've been very invested in the 2021 championship, you will know that sometimes things don't go the way they should. Or as you think they should. But the points are as they are. And as they are, Marcus is your champion. 148 points behind his name. A very, very good score. Dikra close behind what could have been. What could have been. Randus, 3rd place. Unfortunately, non-contention today, but did make it past Domska in 4th place, who had a bit of a rotten race. Dustin, with his strong performances in the last 2 races, actually makes it into the top 5. I think he will be happy with that. But also, you have to say for Dustin, with how strong he was in the last 2 races, it is very much a case of what it could have been. Then we have Geralt, Michael, also very strong last couple of races, but P7 it is. Gomestos, Sorrow wasn't there today, but still P9 behind his name. Then we have Cavalo, Silva, and Nota Bene. I have all of me, JJ Logic, first race out, but he is already in P15. And unfortunately, that's where he ends, because that's the end of the season. We have Jetlin, GR3, also very strong first race today. P17 for him in the standings. Ahead of Daniel Gilligan, Apex, Das, Ride or Die, Ultimate Keze. And that is the end of your point finishes, because Ditto got so close so many times, but never got a point. Neither did Michael Mustache, who joined, I think, a handful of races. I've made a small mistake. Okay, let's look at the team standings anyway, because Red Bull team is your driver championship winner. Oh, sorry, team championship winner. Very much deserved. Marcus was very strong, and so was Michael, especially by the end. Absolutely destroyed that season. Benetton team is 2nd, of course, with Dustin and Geralt. Neither were fighting for the championship, both just very solid drivers. Ferrari in 3rd with Dikra and Cavalo. They have the 40 Grand Prix car in 4th, mostly due to Domska. Gomestos, I think, contributed as well, especially by the end. And then we have the Williams team of Randers and Silva. And that is your main teams. And with Tyrrell, very much 6th place. Can also be happy with that. 7th place for the McLaren team. Then 8th for Minardi. 9th for Jordan. Ligier team gets 10th place. And the Lotus team only 5. That are your standings. Now, it's like the first time I'm not looking forward to interviews because of what happened. But yeah, we're going to have them. I'm going to get some guys to do that for us. And yeah, I'll be right back. All right, welcome back, everyone. We are going to start our post-race interviews, and we're going to start with our race and championship winner, Marcus. Oh, actually, I'm going to pick a big different banner from you. Congratulations on your championship. Now, I know there are asterisks to this championship, Marcus, but just tell me how you feel about what happened today.
Hello, Fenwick. Yeah, I'm over the moon. It was so close. And yeah, wouldn't have Dika had the penalty, then I would have attacked even more. After that, I was a bit cautious to not do a mistake. So, and in the last lap, I knew I wanted to go for the fastest lap as well, just in case. But I put up gap to Dustin, but he was so slow with his two-stop strategy at the end that I thought, okay, I have to overtake him. I have to win this in style at least, even with the asterisks, like you said. But yeah, at the end, you have to celebrate the wins how they come. And yeah, it would be sad if I would be not feeling like a deserved winner, then nobody would be happy. So I'm very happy also for the team championship with Michael, who would for a very strong race.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course, your team did also win the team championship, which I'm sure you'll both be very happy with. Mike had a very strong
Yes.
race as well, but you, yeah, reflect on the season. You had a bit of a, I think, tough start to it, a bit of a slow start, but you really picked up the pace. Did you start feeling more comfortable with this car?
Yeah, at the first race, let's say I had different priorities in life, so I didn't really practice at all. Just half an hour maybe before the days, or I don't remember really. But yeah, that's why I had a bad strategy and wasn't on pace, and the setup wasn't good. And then at the second race, I saw the potential and then was all in from then on. Had a few technical issues, had a few strategy issues, but I did very few mistakes, if any, driving wise, and had no crash with anybody else, only minor touches. And yeah, the season was really interesting and exciting for everybody. And it's so great that we put such a nice finale after 5 years of SSR to the anniversary, because it was so close at the race. We were sometimes were 3 or 4 by the side into turn one. And it were so many places where it could have been gone wrong. And for some people it did. Yeah. But the races where I had problems were the first race, Canada, where I just wasn't on pace. I practiced a lot, but couldn't do anything. And then Estoril, where I wasn't on pace and messed up completely the strategy. So yeah, I also could have been higher ahead. Of course, Dika missed the race, which was sad. But at the end, the standings counts, and I'm very happy about that.
Yeah, well, it's a deserved win, of course. Big congratulations to you. And yeah, very much to me, the rising star of the season. Didn't win a single race before this championship started. Won your first 3 races in, and yeah, didn't look back. It seemed. Um, Quickly about this race then. Um, yeah, it looked like you had it in the back a couple of times. Then it looked like maybe you didn't, and then it looked like you did again. And then after the penalty, it really looked like there was nothing that could go wrong. Although I think there were moments where it very much could have. Talk me through your
Yes.
race in your perspective.
Yeah, qualifying, I messed up a bit. I was doing 31.3s in training and practice, but I couldn't do that and started at the back foot a bit. And for the strategy, I knew that the free stop was faster, about 15 seconds than the two stop. But of course, you have traffic and have to overtake. That's why I chose to equal it as much as possible, that I have enough time to catch up. And Dekra did the, in hindsight, obvious choice if everyone else is on free stop to elongate the first stint, and then has is ahead a little bit on strategy with the overcuts. So he did again mastery with the strategy. I was deciding against it because then it would be so hard to overtake at the first stint, cast it down the two stop. And yeah, I also crashed at the beginning into Dustin because he was so slow ahead of the Dignus, and that allowed Dika to pass. And then when I passed him again, I could drive away a bit, but the slipstream is so powerful on this track, and also you save so much fuel if you're on the slipstream, that it wasn't enough. And at that point, I was already a little bit cautious to not ruin it. I should have attacked it a bit more to get away. And then I came out after the first stop behind 2 cars. Grete, I think its name is, a new guy who was very, very fast and very, good in the infights. He drove very, very well. And I overtook him, Domschka pitted, and then I was behind Dikra, but closed in. Then I didn't know in which stint, but he did a mistake in the second Gegner, where I was able to catch up again. And then in the last stint, he did this mistake with the penalty. I was so cautious I always lost maybe a second or so in the pit entry and to come to the stop to not overshoot the pit stop itself. And he was at the limit and was a bit over the limit, and that's racing. So from then on, I was very cautious to not ruin it. I knew he had to win the race and get also the fastest lap if I'm behind him immediately. So at that point, Dustin let him pass because he knew he could stay within 10 seconds, and he really wanted that win at the anniversary, of course, and he was really fast for the two-stop, and I just couldn't find a way past, and I also didn't want to ruin it there. I did some moves which I have to look back again that I maybe shouldn't have done because they are just too dangerous. And one time he overshot the chicane. I think he should have let me pass at this point, but it didn't really matter for me that much. But at the very end, like I said before, I just wanted to go for it and win it in style, and it was a really nice photo finish again, just like a monster. Yeah, that was my race and my season.
Yeah, well, very much a good season to look back to, and big congratulations to your win this race and for the season. Of course, haven't announced it yet, but there will be another season coming up. Of course, in September. I think it was announced today. Are you planning to join? Are you gonna extend your championship?
I will join again, hopefully. Yeah, I definitely will join. I don't know if I will be able to race every race. And definitely it's not a priority as much as it was this season to win it again because the first championship win is always so special. And I put a lot of time and Michael also into it. We both together taught us to practice as much as possible, and this is not sustainable. So I will be joining again. I hope I will be fast again, but I definitely won't be practicing that much for the next season. I know already which cars we're driving, and those will be very nice. So I hope that we have a full grid the whole season long. So if you're watching this, please join. It will be really amazing. You saw it this season how close the racing is, not only at the front but also at the midfield. And it's the best championship in ASM2 with the Formula One cars.
Absolutely nothing to add there. It absolutely is the best grid I could think of. Thank you so much. Congratulations, and enjoy your evening.
Thank you. See you next season.
I cut him off a little bit. Of course, see you next season as well. And we'll move to the second place finisher and organizer who's celebrating a very special day today, Dustin. Commiserations on the second
Hello.
place, but very much congratulations with 5 years of SSR. How do you feel?
Generally good. Still, leading most of the race until the last corner still hurts a little bit. But generally, I'm very happy about today's race because it's been really exciting for a championship, for a community. I think it's what this community has deserved for a championship fight. Because on this day today, it's 5 years since we started the first ever SSR race. And it couldn't have gone any better for that. Well, maybe with me winning, but still, I'm very happy about everything. So about my race, I was totally surprised that I actually beat Randers in qualification because he was always a little bit faster than me in qualifying pace, but also has been the case on Wednesday where he basically drove my time, I think it is. Um, and I was behind him, and yeah, it wasn't still not really the best lap for myself, but good enough for pole position, of course. Here and there were still a few tiny spots where I could have taken a better line, but still, I was very happy, and I think everyone else could definitely hear it about my pole position. I was literally screaming. Yeah, and when the race started, I knew, okay, I'm gonna do a two-stopper. I would have done it anyway, however my position would be. And I knew I would just go for it, push every lap, and this would definitely be a big chance to win today, because I knew Dika and Domschka didn't really were the top guys today, or yeah, I thought the one to beat was Runners today. So I had him more on cards than Marcus. And I think in his pace, this was definitely also shown. So he was definitely very fast, even though his race didn't win quite so well. Yeah, for my race, I think it was good, but I was lacking a bit of speeds at the end of my stints. I could have been a bit faster, but I'm not really sure where, but I think that's where definitely Marcos catch up to me and deserve to win more because I was just a bit slower than him. That's simply said. Yeah, and I was just fighting for the win. And one said to me, just fight with us when like it's a normal race, which I did, and I really wanted this win. Unfortunately, I didn't get it. But still, I'm finishing the season on a very high. So I'm looking forward to next season, which I will definitely be more competitive than this season.
Yeah, that's what we hope for, of course. Yeah, last two races, you really you fixed your technical issues and were immediately on the pace to try and win races, get very close. But is it also kind of a season of what could have been? What if the technical issues weren't there? Could you have fought for the championship?
I think to some extent, yes. I'm not sure if I will be in a position to win the championship today, because I still think Marco, Stika, Domschka, and Randers are at my level, if not a bit faster than me. I also made some yeah, weird strategy decisions this season. Today, you could argue that this was the case as well, but I still think it was a good decision to go for a two-stopper. Yeah, it's definitely something what could have been. But this is not the case next season, so I definitely want to drive in the front, especially since next season is actually my favorite F1 season ever. So I would definitely try everything to win it.
All right, that's gonna be interesting, and yeah, looking forward to it. You will have my voice if you need it. Yeah, I will continue to very much enjoy streaming these races. It's absolutely you've created really a very nice community with some of the best drivers in Amos too. Yeah, and could be proud of the 5 years going and many more to come.
Absolutely. Especially when we see we had a new driver today, but new driver finished in P8 and had a probably a bad setup. So I think even he could be up there next season. So it's still a lot open, and definitely congratulations to him, and also congratulations to Marcus for winning the championship, of course, and winning the race.
Okay, if you're saying he had a bad setup, then well, got good news. His racing was quite good, so who knows? Maybe championship contender next time. We'll see what happens there. All right.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much for joining, and yeah, see
Thank
you
you for
next season.
streaming.
No worries.
Exactly.
Now we do have one more driver, not the top 3 drivers. I think Dikra, commiserations to him. Oh no, well, actually, hang on. Sorry, Michael, you're being pushed back. Dikra is here. At the end. I'm so sorry to Michael. But yeah, hello, Dikra. Happy to see you here. How are you
Yeah,
doing?
hello, Felix. I was cutting it a little late, but of course I wasn't going to miss that press conference.
No, despite what happened, I would have absolutely understood if you didn't want to join. Just talk us through it. How do you feel, and how was that race for you?
Yeah, to be honest, I can live with it. Going into this race, my expectations were not particularly high because today and Wednesday evening were the only times that I drove that track, and I think we, Domska and me, who practiced together, had a very hard time getting anywhere close to the times that we saw being posted on the leaderboards and saw being posted on Wednesday. So going into this race, I was pretty confident that it was going to be decided between Steven and Marcus. And then, to my own surprise, it turned out not to be the case. I was able to follow Marcus and I was able to attack the pits a little more. I think I gained a lot of time just because I took more risks there. And yeah, I always had a little more fuel than he did throughout the race, and that allowed me to get consistent overcuts, which also benefited my race. So yeah, I am actually going into the pits for the last stop, which was where I got the penalty. I thought, okay, let's do this. My chances are not particularly big because I also needed the fastest lap. And that fastest lap was, I think, a couple hundreds away. And the problem was that I needed to pass Dustin and also to get rid of Marcus in order to be able to have enough arm clear racetrack to drive it. And that was going to cut it very, very closely. But yeah, I approached the pits and I didn't think I was taking a lot of risks. But suddenly, yeah, I wasn't so sure when crossing the pit entry, and then I saw the penalty above my head, and I thought, oh man, it's such a pity. It's just because I don't know if I would have won. I don't think it's even particularly likely because Dustin would have fought me much, much harder, and you never know what would have happened. But it would have been a chance, and it would have been a great finale, and it would have been just exciting to see how it plays out. And I'm just so sad that I ruined that. I'm just yeah, I'm very disappointed because I had a chance that I didn't think I would have, and I just overdid it by, yeah, 1 or 2 kph. I don't think it can't have been much more. It was very, very close when entering the pits. And yeah, I can live with that. I didn't expect to be able to win the title here, but I was, and I threw it away very unnecessarily by a very unnecessary error. So I'm disappointed, but in the end, I got a result that I can live with. I can tell myself to sleep better that maybe if I had taken part at Spa-Francorchamps, then things would look different. But in the end, Marcus is a deserved champion. Marcus drove an incredible season. I don't think he made a single mistake of his own throughout the entire season. I think there was always it was always near perfection from him. Maybe a tiny little dip in the gravel, but that was it. And he was super consistent. The only reason that he didn't finish far in the front in all races were some errors with strategy and some technical issues. So he's a very deserved champion. He put in a lot of work to achieve this, and I think if someone deserves to be the champion of this season, then maybe it's the guy who practiced a lot, who didn't make any mistakes, and who just drove his heart out, and who would have also still had a shot, of course, today against me when I exited the pits. So yeah, I'm angry at myself, but I can live with it. I'm very, very much looking forward to next season because the cars we're gonna drive, they are going to provide very exciting racing. I'm sure of that, and going to provide a very close field. And yeah, that's all I have for the race. It was painful driving the last laps with a penalty, knowing that whatever I did was not gonna be enough, save for a crash between Marcus and Dustin, but they didn't do me that favor. So, but I can live with it, and I'm gonna come back, and I'm gonna try and win with and try and win the championship that Schumacher should have won in 2006, in my opinion, because I back then was a big fanboy of his.
Yeah, of course. And you're also German, of course, so it would have been, Yeah, could have been, would have been. But yeah, and very much this was a season of what could have been. But in the end, as you say, Marcus, very deserved champion. Great fight between you two today. Yeah, wasn't to be. I felt very sad at the moment that I noticed that your tires locked up going into the pits, and I was like, I have to check if that's a penalty, and I got so upset seeing that. It's not really what you want to see, but yeah, that's racing. It happens, and yeah, it is what it is. At least it's your own mistake making it happen, and not an outside force. So yeah, take that with what you will. All right. As you said, next season should be exciting. You're happy to join. We're happy to see you join. Anything else that we should look forward to? We of course have seen 4 very strong drivers. Dustin has very much joined the fray at the end. What should someone watching next season expect?
That's a very hard to answer question because I don't know what anyone can expect for next season. But I think that points to the field being closer than it ever was at the top. I think this was the most exciting season finale, even though it didn't, well, maybe turn out the way it could have been without Domschka and Steven colliding and me making that stupid mistake. But it was still a very close season, very exciting battles, and just following the trajectory of the last seasons. I mean, we had the season with the 1995 cars, which Domschka dominated, and then in the end, it still got very, very close between him and Gary. And then we had the 2012 season with a lot of battles between Domschka and me. And now we have a season where we have Steven, so Randers is the driver, I mean. We have Randers, we have Marcus, we have Dustin coming back, we have Domschka, we have me. It's just a very tightly knit cluster of people, and there's also new forces joining, because I think Michael's last races were also very impressive. And today I think he finished 4 or 5 seconds behind me, including my penalty, and it would have been 14-15 without it. So that's not a big gap, and I think he's gonna like the next cars. And the cars are also gonna be relatively easy to drive because they have driving assists, and they are very stable at the rear, at least on the default setup they are. So I think it's gonna be an even more tightly knit field where expectations are hard to form because it's just so impossible to know who's gonna come out on top, who's gonna have bad luck at what point in the race, who's gonna be able to come back, who's gonna fight each other. And I think that's super exciting, and that's gonna carry me through the summer break that we have ahead of us.
Yeah, it's gonna be super exciting. I'm very excited for it. Yeah, and we'll be happy to see you there, see Michael there, Marcus there, Dustin will be there. All of the main characters from this season will be there, and maybe some new forces that we haven't seen yet. So, yeah, thank you so much for the interview. I'm happy you're doing all right, and yeah, see you next season.
See you. Thank you.
And then we have one more driver who would like to do an interview, and he very much deserves one, with a very formidable P4 today. Hello, Michael.
Hello.
How are you doing after that race?
Good. I heard you talking about the fastest drivers on AMS, and then you brought me in, and then you put me out. So now I'm doing good. It was a good race. Very unfortunate the things that happened with Renders and Domschka. But I had a good start. The strategy was good. I was a little bit behind Dustin in the first stint. That cost me some time, but in the end, I was driving safe and a little bit strategically, so I'm very good with the result.
Yeah, happy to hear that. And a very much deserved result. Also, big thanks for supporting the stream. I saw you resubscribed. So last time I got some talk to me because I didn't thank you on stream. So here you go. Thank you so much. Yeah, and
Yes, of course.
yeah, showing very good pace this race, but also at the end of the season. Do you think next season you're going to be able to fight for wins, or is that maybe a bit too ambitious?
No, wins. Maybe I can fight for podium at some race, but there are so many fast drivers here. It has to happen a lot to get a podium again. But I think top 6 is my my positions.
Yeah, well, you say top 6, but that's last race was a podium, and this race was almost a podium. So I would say there's more in there, and I'm sure
Yeah,
that.
but Gary was not at his best because he couldn't practice a lot and he was drunk at the weekend, I think, on the DTM race. He had his fun.
That's
And
fair.
yeah, Renders, Domschka. So when some others miss out, I have the pace, I can get a podium, but it is very, very hard. The guys are so fast. So, but yes, that's my goal, to get another podium. And I will try many things to get it.
Yeah, well, would be great to see if you can do it, and maybe even take the top step next season. What about the cars the next season? Are you looking forwards to that?
Oh, I don't know. I think the car's from 2006, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was what was announced. So, do you have any memories of the 2006 Real F1 season?
Yes, of course. Fernando fucking Alonso and Michael Schumacher was battling. I can remember just a little bit. I was 12 years old. But I can remember I watched it on YouTube sometimes, when Schumacher in Suzuka had the engine blow up and Alonso drove by and wrecked his fist because he was happy that he had an engine failure.
Yeah,
But yes, not really much. I can remember Raikkonen had many problems with the car, the McLaren Mercedes. That was very sad. But yes, I think the cars, they said they drive really good. So I'm looking forward to that. Will be fun again.
yeah, it should be good. And of course, I almost forget to mention, you did mention recently that the team championship is what you're really fighting for, and I'm happy to tell you that, yeah, your team did win by quite a bit. So big congratulations to the Red Bull team for being the team champion.
Yes, thank you. Do you have the standings?
I can show the standings on stream right now, and I will tell you that. Yeah, you have 207 points ahead of the Benetton team that has 158. Then the Ferrari with 155, and the 40 Grand Prix team is fourth, 146, and the Williams team is fifth with 145.
Yes, the Switzerland team wins with the Red Bull logo. That's nice for an Austrian guy. Very nice, very nice.
Very nice. And
oh, that was 49 points.
Yeah, deserved first place, of course, with Marcus winning the championship, and you yourself doing a very good job in the last few races, bringing it home with a big margin.
Yes, that was an amazing season with my teammate. He's such a good driver, and we had a lot of fun with practicing and becoming faster and faster as a team. So thank you to him. Thank you to you for streaming, and for Dustin making all this possible, and all the other admins. It was a great season. Didn't expect it after the first race.
Yeah, big thanks to you and all of the other drivers for giving me something to talk about and having it be so exciting, so clean as well. So yeah, thank you so much, and thank you for this interview.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Goodbye, and see you next season. And I have one more driver that joined us. Didn't cross the finish line, but it was very much a main character of this season, as I quickly remove the team standings. Hello, Domschka.
Hi, Findict.
I kind of messaged you after a little bit after the crash for two reasons. One, I wanted to know what happened, and two, I wanted to know what's gonna happen with the penalty. Yeah, just tell the audience what happened.
Yes, first of all, congratulations to Marcus. I think it is a very deserved title because he put so much time and effort in this title race. He was practicing so much. Like I said, I think the last time, every time I looked at this Discord server, I saw him in voice chat and I think he was practicing. And wow, very deserved. And he had such a strong season. I do think he didn't made any mistakes. I think when he had some crashes or something like that, it was his VR that messed him a little bit up. I think of Hockenheim when he had his little moment there with his VR headset. But he won there anyway because of some little
Yeah, somebody did something that caused him to win.
Incident, yes.
Let's get into the details there.
Yeah, like I said, a very deserved title. And for this race, or my race was very messy, as I wrote to you already. First of all, I have gone wide in the first corner, so I lost a few places there. Then I crawled my way back up, so I was in the fight again. Then I had two little incidents with Randers. First time I overshot the chicane a little bit and I bumped him, so he had a flat spot because of that. But after that, or because of this flat spot, he wasn't as quick in the S's as he should be. So I was attacking him after the last part of the S's into Gegner 1. He closed the door a little bit, we crashed, and that was basically our title race. Yeah, I mean that happens. I'm not mad or anything. So after that, I was a little bit unconcentrated because at least my title race was over. I tried to get Gary again after that crash, but like I said, I was very unconcentrated. I spun 2 times after that, and after that I was frustrated and unconcentrated, and I finally put an end to this miserable race in the SS when I crashed massively. And yeah, that was basically it. Then I was a viewer for the rest of the race, and it was a fun race to watch as a fan, because I think we had a freeway battle for the win and a battle for the title with Dika and Marcos. So that was exciting, and that was basically my afternoon.
Yeah, well, unfortunate for your race, but I'm glad you enjoyed the race. I don't know if you watched it on the stream or if you watched it in the game itself, but that is as it is. You did have a decent season after last race. It very much looked like you had a very decent shot at winning, but of course today didn't go the way it should have. What about next season? You did win, of course, season 5. You haven't won it in 2 seasons now. Next season gonna be yours?
Let's hope so. I do think my season wasn't very good because I had a messy season. I think my pace was better than in the 2012 season, in the last season, but I was more mistake prone. I had a very messy race in Spa where I crashed myself out. I had, of course, this race here, but yeah. Yeah, let's not talk about it again. And other than that, I had mistakes like in Hockenheim where I crashed Dika out, or that thing in Monza where I had a misunderstanding with, I think, Ditto or something. And yeah, you can say that all of this was my fault. So I wasn't very consistent, let's say that. And I do think that I was in this position was down to luck, because Dika, of course, had a race that he missed. Marcos, of course, had his technical difficulties in some races. And in Estoril, everything came my way. And today, I do think also that my practice sessions were kinda not good because I was so focused because I saw on the Wednesday race that my pace was I was very off pace. I was like 1.5 seconds slower or something with the Estoril setup. That caught me off guard. So I was trying to find a setup that gets me at least close. And because I tried so hard to get a good setup, and I had not enough. Because of that, I had not enough time to practice long runs, and I do think that also was a reason because my race was the way it was, because I never had like tires that were used that were not perfect, and I was surprised because the car got very oversteery or more oversteery in the stint. With normal practice sessions, I think I would have known that and I could have adjust myself. But obviously that didn't happen, so it was the way it was, and I hope that I can do a little bit more consistent season next season, and I hope that I can do less mistakes. I'm very excited for the new cars. Dika and all the other guys that are testing them already in the beta are telling very, very good things about them. So I'm very excited how this car how this car will be. And let's hope I can be the first double champ after Alan. After Alan we had 3 different champions. So I think that's a very exciting storyline that will be playing out next season. Of course, we have Dustin that will have something to prove after the last few seasons that obviously didn't went his way. And obviously we have Randos, who will be want to win his first championship. And I do think he showed this season that he will be a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, more reasons to watch come September. And yeah, for anybody watching on Twitch, of course, don't forget to follow and become a fan of this wonderful group of drivers. Just hearing Domska here, not his race today, but absolutely going to be a fighting spirit for next season. I'm not going to hold you up too much. It's already late, so yeah, thank you so much for
Yes.
joining. Yeah, congratulations on the win in what was it? Estoril again.
Estoril.
Yes,
It was the
in
only
Portugal.
good race. It was the only race that I was satisfied with. Every other race there was something where I said, you could have done that better or that better.
Yeah, and today we do not
Yeah.
talk about today, so
No. This race, it's sad it was cancelled. I think we had such a nice 4-way battle for the title lined up. Sadly it rained out.
yeah, unfortunately, just like that one race in Singapore that we don't talk about.
Exactly.
All right. Thank you very much. Excited to see you again next season, and yeah, have a good evening.
Yeah, thank you for streaming as always. I hope we will be hearing you again.
I do plan to be here again come September, so
Thank you very much.
yeah, no worries. Very enjoyable, and thank you for making it so enjoyable.
Yep.
All right.
Then
I kind of cut him off again, but yeah, that is Domska, and that is the last of the interviews. So if you have been watching this race any of the season, thank you so much for watching. It's been quite the adventure. I have another. Wait, we're not wrapping up yet. Randus.
Hi.
Hello. You are fashionably late, but continue.
Yeah, I was thinking if I wanted to talk or not, but I decided, okay, I was part of the championship fight in the end, so maybe I should have a few words.
Yeah, well, as with Domska, of course, today was not your day, but you were very much in the fight for the championship. And during qualifying, actually, it looked like you had a decent chance to win as well. Is that how you felt?
Yeah, definitely. If I had pole position, would have been a bit easier. But in terms of pace, qualifying is always a strength of mine, and I was going to this race and was like, okay, let's see, everything's possible now. Yeah, somehow the racing got decided differently today.
Yeah, what exactly happened at the start? We got caught glimpses of it, but not the full picture. So fill us in.
Yeah, just said in the voice chat, it felt a bit like playing Mario Kart with a friend, being in P1, then you get the blue what is it called? The blue
The
shell.
blue shell, yeah.
And then you're in P3 and you get all the items from the AI, and then you're in P6. That's what I felt like, because in the first lap I was behind Dustin, having slipstream and attacking him on the outside. I think his defense was very much borderline, because he braked later than me, while I was in front on the braking point. And then when going into the corner, I didn't have a full cars width on the outside there, so it was very borderline in my opinion. Not enough for the steward section, but very borderline, very hard defense in my opinion, and I lost a lot of drive from that for the next straight. So suddenly I had Dikra and Marcos next to me, and I was on the outside, the other were on the inside, and I just had to back off, because if I kept it going there into turn 1, then we would have crashed, I'm sure. So I was in P4, and then Michael was behind me. He had much less fuel than I had, so it was difficult to keep him behind as well. And then I had Domschka behind me, who pushed me a bit in going into the chicane, so I locked up, and my tires had a flat spot on both front tires, which gave me some understeer in the yeses, and suddenly Domschka was next to me, which I didn't realize soon enough. So yeah, we touched, crashed, and I was 20 seconds behind, which is, considering I had also completely destroyed tires after that, a bit frustrating, because I was 15 seconds behind the winner in the end, and the crash definitely cost me more than 20 to 25 seconds. So, I mean, it's always, you don't know what would have happened in the race. Things went differently, but definitely there was a chance to fight for this today. So yeah, and after that we don't have to talk about that. I just did my laps and finished in P5.
Yeah, it is what it is for that start. But let's move past that. Today wasn't your race, but the season very much. You really showed what you're worth. Last 2 races didn't quite go the way you wanted to, but should be encouraging for next season. Are you joining, and do you think you can win it?
Of course, I'm always joining. I love this league. I love this community. I love your streams, so definitely joining. If I can win it, depends on who will participate, and depends on how much they get along with the cars. I think there will be a big update, which might bring us some new cars and maybe different physics again. So everything's back to zero for next season. I learned a lot through this season, because I didn't believe in fighting for the championship at all, and maybe kind of my mindset was a bit, especially in the final races, my mindset wasn't the best for a championship fight. And as much as I learned in the last season to compete in this season, I will take what happened in the last couple of races as a learning, for the next season, and maybe I can have an even better shot. But could also go differently. Who knows? Everything will be very, very new when we will start the new season.
Yeah, first time in the championship fight is always a bit more stressful than the second and the third time. So you had a very successful season behind you. P3 in the end, after everything is said and done. That's very, very good, very impressive. And try to improve next season. Excited for the cars? Have you tried them already?
I mean, the thing is, I cannot try the cars we will probably drive next season, because I'm not a beta tester.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
not yet, but from what I heard, they will be great. They will be great, those cars. So forward to them.
All right. Yeah, thank you very much. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the track and talking about your races and potential championship next season as well.
Thank you. And I hope, yeah, I see you again next season as a streamer. Thanks
I will-
for doing all this work. Really great to watch the streams after the race. And yeah, thanks for that. And see ya.
Yeah, this one will be uploading soon. So, and next season, of course, I will try to be there. No plans to not be there. So, yeah, see you next
That's
season
great.
then.
See ya.
All right, and with that, if anybody else wants to come in, you are too late because we are actually wrapping up now. Okay, it's been a great season, as I said. A lot of very good races, very strong drivers. In the end, Marcus ends up on top, but yeah, what could have been for so many other drivers. Absolutely, what could have been. Next season, then, another shot. We will start somewhere in September. Dustin, of course, has to organize everything, and he will announce things on the Discord. If you are not on the Discord and you want to participate, there is a pinned message in the Twitch chat, and there's also a link in the YouTube description. Absolutely do join. Join us on the Wednesday races. There will be other events that you can join. Yeah, just participate. Always happy to see people. I won't stream everything, only the F1 races, so no pressure there. Yeah, thank you so much for joining today, for the whole season really, and yeah, see you next time.